welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, Monday afternoon on the dock for today and looking forward to the week. We are gonna get Dad going on baling hay. While he's doing that, I'll come down and I'm probably gonna drain the rest of the gear oil out of the front of the Mahindra because the Mahindra saga continues. It's gonna be kind of a combo between getting some stuff cut and getting stuff put back together so we can start using it. We got bales on the field that we need to pick up. So Dad is off and running. This will probably be about 4 bales maybe, and that's pretty typical. But we'll just make sure Dad's got a couple of good bales and he doesn't have any issues, and then we'll head down to the shop. I don't know where is that bale going? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tree. This field is actually very flat, so there must be just a smidge of a rise there and it hit it just right, but it rolled up against a tree. We'll be able to grab it. And I don't know if I had mentioned it in a previous video. Dad was up at Swiderski's, the Wassa Swiderski's, and this was a couple weeks ago when he was getting the net wrap and he had to get another part. He actually was talking to the salesman that sold this to us and said, we had told him the story about the baler that we had backed out on that we were kind of interested in at the Mosinee store, and said, you guys are pretty lucky that you actually backed out of that, because at that time, and that was 2 or 3 weeks ago, that baler had not yet made a bale, and had at least like a couple thousand, I think they said a couple $1,000s worth of repairs and new parts and stuff done to it because it was not functioning properly. So yeah, we are definitely happy that we picked the one that we did. Just its overall condition, you know, that one, I don't know if that one was just a little bit more used and abused, but or just maybe it was a lot of corn stalks or something. I mean, it had like 1,000 or 1,500 less bales, but it was already on its second set of belts, and so just to hear that made us not really feel good, but kind of relieved or more confident in our decision to pick this one over the other one. All right, so Dad's got a 54-inch bale. He's just gonna do the auto wrap. There we go. So yeah, this guy's a little smaller, but you can barely tell the difference. But yeah, he just hit the auto wrap function. I mean, honestly, you guys all know about that. We're new to technology. I mean, we could kind of do it too with the RBX and the twine, but you had to extract the arms and then retract them manually. So, I mean, we could make them look pretty good, but you know, this is nice. You just hit the wrap button, hit and hold the wrap button, and it just says, oh, okay, and it fires off your procedure that you want. So it just fires off 3.5 wraps on whatever bale you have. We're gonna drain the oil out of this side, and then we're gonna drain the oil out of the center transfer case. It technically can share gear oil, and if it can technically share gear oil, just as a precaution, as bad as that one side is, let's drain them, make sure we get as much of the garbage out of there. So we got both spots draining, and I'm starting to almost wonder if, as long as we're this far, would it just be better off, we'd be better off just jacking up this side, taking this assembly off too, and flushing and cleaning it out as long as we're this far along. We did upgrade, you can probably hear it, we upgraded the shop fan. It's not huge, it's not like a big barn fan, which that'd be kind of sweet too, but this thing does kick off some air, which is nice. We had just like a plastic, actually the same size, like house fan, but yeah, we bumped that, knocked it on the floor, broke a blade off. So this one's all steel. See how long it lasts, but it works nice. It's definitely an upgrade. Mahindra, the saga continues. We took out this bottom pinion gear, this one down here, because honestly it was sitting in a bath of those chips and everything. All the fluid in the front end is drained out, and we might actually be inquiring into how we can possibly flush the front end of this tractor out so we don't have to take the whole damn thing apart. Like, can we force diesel fuel in it somehow and get it flushed out? But this is that bottom pinion gear. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but it is coated in chips and garbage and stuff. This guy, $350. It's, Dad and I have said this multiple times already, it's amazing because bearing inner and outer races and the balls that actually are in bearings, I mean, that's good quality hard steel, and there isn't a speck of anything, any damage done to any of those gears or pinion gears, but yet there's multiple bearing balls that are just gone. So it's a test. Those things must be super high grade steel and hardened or something. So it's amazing to the both of us, who we in different forms and fashions have had work experience with different grades of steel. Hey, how's it going? All right, it is Tuesday afternoon and Mahindra saga continues. All right, so just to be safer than sorry, we took the other side off, and everything here looks really, really good. There's no chips, nothing. This is the one that we worked on. What was that, like April we did this one?
Something like that.
Yeah. And that was, we thought we had one of those little knocking sounds or whatever, and honestly didn't end up replacing anything because the seal looked good. We replaced one O-ring, which is the one that kind of goes out all the time. But that one is just to help prevent debris getting into the oil seal. But everything looks really good in here. There's like almost no signs of any kind of chips or anything over here. Anytime you take one of these guys off with a magnet, that's the job of these guys, is to pick up any of those that little debris. And even with this thing being super clean, there was just a real little fine bit, because there's always going to be a little bit of wear on either a spline or a gear, very, very faint wear, and it'll collect in the bank. All right, so we got the new bearing in here. This cleaned up real nice. This spins real nice, just like the other side does, so that's good to go. Dad is all set, ready to roll. So he's gonna call it good for the day. I am gonna give these steers a little bit of grain, but I've got one more thing I gotta do today, and that is go move the cows and get them out of that frickin' drain ditch that I don't even want to look at it, because I know they've wallowed the heck out of it, and it is gonna irritate me. All right, so this area did not come back at all. This was a pretty heavily trafficked, very muddy the last time. This is where I fed that bale out here. So obviously that residue is still there. It's not really helping us right now or this year. It'll help us next year. This might still be a spot I bring a bale maybe for the next move. But as far as this move, so it looks like we had a fence that went right here. I'm gonna move over and go right here. So something I just thought of is, since that is kind of the most beat up opening right there, I'm gonna go see if I can get my hands on some seed. I know where there's some oats. I don't know how easy it'll be to get, but see if I can grab some. Orchard or ryegrass, maybe a little clover, that I can get my hands on. But they're gonna be going in and out of that opening for the next few days. So why not let them get the seed to soil contact by pushing that stuff into the ground? Okay, so I think I got some really, really nice coverage. Nice thing is I don't have to rely on a heavy rain. These guys are going to be in and out of here mulling around. They might even eat some of this. There's oats, ryegrass. There's even a little bit of soybeans, because we had some leftover soybeans from 2 years ago, untreated. We didn't do anything to them. And then there's some white clover. I think it's just regular Dutch white clover, unfortunately. Not a fan of the Dutch white clover because it doesn't grow very, very tall. Good for your lawns, great for your lawn, but it's not good in a pasture. You'd rather have Ladino or Allslike. Not bad. They are pretty content. They didn't even seem that hungry, but you know, they took care of their chunk pretty well, and I'm not even gonna go over to where they wallowed out. That'll clear out come next spring, and probably what I'll have to do is throw up a temp and keep them out of there for the third rotation. So all right, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Alrighty, Wednesday afternoon, we are heading down to the shop and continue with the Mahindra. All right, let's do an update. So we got this side back on, so no issues there. Just got to put the wheel back on. And then we got the problem child side back on. Everything is put back together. We cleaned everything out, deburred some sharp edges, things like that weren't really any kind of an issue anywhere, but we got her all cleaned up. Everything's put back together, and now we're gonna start filling gear oil. So yep, the Mahindra's running. We got everything put back together. The wheels are back on, and hopefully they don't fall off on the way home. We're gonna run that back to the farm, and then Dad will bring it back to my truck. Also, like I said, we got our gearbox for the brush hog, and we got that guy put on. It's just literally put on. We just bolted on. So luckily everything pattern wise worked out. It got shipped empty, so we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. This one actually has a sight glass for, do you have enough oil in here? So we got fill, drain, sight glass. That's really nice. I did put the stump jumper on here, and it does fit on the splines, so that's a good deal. So probably tomorrow night we'll put the rest of that stuff on there, and Dad will probably cut more hay. He said what he cut today was pretty decent. A lot of marsh grass, but we knew that. So all right, let's get this guy down to the farm, and I got to put a bale in for the steers, so that's why I wanted to get it done. All right, heading the Mahindra back to the farm. Just kind of taking it easy a little bit. Biggest thing is just the way that oil gets down into those gears and can splash around. It's basically got to work its way through a spline. As much as we harp on the Mahindra, it's still glad to have it back and working, and hopefully it's working. I'm guessing if it's not, or something is wrong with it, we will find that out fairly soon. So it is a good feeling to have that project done, out of the way, and we were able to turn it around really quick. We deal with Quinlan's in Anago, and the head of service over there, I mean, he's been pretty good. They sent all the parts, and they sent a big cross section of the front axle, and I mean, it was helpful. It was nice, you know. So, not sure on the long-term future of the Mahindra, but it's still good to have back. And I've always said, when it works, when it's working good, it works good. It's fine.